Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Arrow Season 5, Episode 11. It's called Second Chances. Full spoilers for the episode as always. The first things first, before we actually talk about the episode, which Connor's clearly eager to do, he's making faces and he's face palming over there. This is of course very late. This is late. This is Saturday night, and typically we'd have this up a few hours after it airs, maybe the Thursday. My internet was out for 26 hours. It pushed lots of things back. This was pushed back especially because Connor wanted to get drunk to watch it, so we had to leave
Needed.
this.
Not wanted. Needed.
Needed to get drunk to watch Arrow. Therefore, it had to be pushed till last.
You know what?
We had to do a lot
After
more.
having seen the episode, I stand by that decision more than ever. Because there was a point where I was like, yeah, maybe I could risk just the one episode and get it up a little bit more timely.
Because we had like 8 things to do over Friday, Saturday, so we had to leave this till last. It was just unfortunate, so it's really late, so apologies, but it's here now. Here we are. So, like I say, full spoilers for the episode. Before we get to the stuff that we want to really rage about, I actually want to just talk about a few positives.
Okay, I have one that I can off the top of my head.
I have a couple. The action scenes in this episode were generally not bad. There was a fight scene in a flashback with Oliver taking out a bunch of guys with a gun. I don't necessarily agree with him just point blank killing like 10 people, but
it was shot nicely.
It was shot nicely.
That was the one that I was thinking of. I thought it was not quite a one-er, but like half it played like it was.
Yeah, it was nice long shots, fluid between them. Maybe not all one shot, but it certainly wasn't quick cuts.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene where, don't get me wrong, it was stupid and over the top, but there was a scene where he like grapples onto a helicopter and he just sort of lets the helicopter take him around as he...
And he's just kicking all the dudes.
Yeah.
It's very Power Rangers.
That did not look as bad as I thought it was going to, because there was a helicopter scene back at the start of the season which was atrocious looking in terms of bad CG. This at least looked okay, and then he blows up the helicopter. Again, over the top, but at least the shot of the explosion behind him looked not bad. Like, I thought, a couple of moments. This new Black Canary, her theme and the music, I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Had this kind of sort of steady sort of synthy bass kind of thing going for it. I thought that was okay.
Blake Neely's solid, though, isn't he? So.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I mean, the music can't really fault too much, but that'd be my positives. That's the stuff that I thought was...
Alright, should we start on the smaller things that we hated? Because I want to start just... possibly the worst transition ever into a flashback.
Right, so we should explain this, because I don't think we talk about this much. Even though it happens every week, we don't talk about it. Because it's just such a small thing, and we always forget to mention it. The Arrow's done this thing for years, probably since season 1. I can't remember how far back this goes.
You just assume that it has been, because it feels like a stylistic choice that's been there so long.
And it's basically, every time it transitions from a present day scene to one of the flashbacks, it does this thing where the camera will go to something else in the scene, in the room, and then it'll cut to a similar thing and pan out of that or whatever.
It's usually like a sky shot or something, or a face of the same, of like Oliver usually.
Or sometimes it'll be something like someone walks past the camera, but as they walk past, it'll cut behind them to a new shot.
And it'll be the new person walking instead. Yeah.
You'll get something like that. There's always this. They always try and go for a fancy transition, but
and it's usually okay, to be fair.
But because they've been doing it for so many years, they've really, the well has run dry in terms of creative ways of doing this. And the one that really made us laugh in this episode is, I can't remember what the scene was to begin with, but the camera just tilts down.
And they're eating in Big Belly Burger, weren't they?
Was it Big Belly Burger? Yeah, they're eating in Big Belly Burger when they're in Hub City, and the camera tilts down to the table
just
surface.
the white of the table.
And it cuts to another table surface and then tilts up, and I'm like, it was a table. It was a static table. That wasn't fancy. It wasn't inventive.
Utterly atrocious.
It just made us laugh. Your camera transition should not make us laugh.
And then what made me laugh more was later in the episode, they just gave up entirely and just did that thing. You know, sometimes they do it where it kind of like fades to the blur and then just fades back into focus with the new image. They just did that later on.
There was another one I think you missed. See, I think it was the end of the good fight scene in the flashback. It just tilted down to a puddle and then did the same and back up in present day.
Yeah. See, I don't mind that one as much because at least you've got the reflections and there's light. You know, there's stuff to it, but this was just that kind of plain restaurant marbly white table.
So the plot of this one is that, or the plot is that Oliver and Renee and Curtis go to Hub City to track down New Canary and try and convince her to come work for them. We get a flashback to Central City when the explosion happened, that gives the Flash his powers, which I actually thought was kind of cool, because that's something we used to see a lot in the Flash season 1. It'd be like 8 months ago on the night of the explosion.
Yeah.
The night of the particle accelerator explosion.
It's crazy that that's 3 years ago now, though.
I know, but it was funny to start an episode of Arrow like that, because we have a metahuman, so that was kind of okay. It was a little bit silly that she got her power to scream like Black Canary, because she was screaming when the wave of energy hit her.
Smallville rules. That's what it always used to be in Smallville.
And so they'll try to track her down. They find her, like, come work for us, be the new Black Canary, and she's like, piss off. And then she's just found the villain who shot her partner, who was also her boyfriend, and she's like, I'm going to kill him, and Arrow's like, I'll help you. And they kind of, even though she's like dead set and not doing it, at the end of the episode she shows up in Star City and like, yeah, I don't really feel anything after killing the guy who killed my my hubby. So about this new gig, Black Canary, in all episode her name's been like Tina Drake, and it's like, oh,
it wasn't Drake, I don't think.
Was it not? Well, Tina, whatever it was. And she was like, oh yeah, by the way, that was just my
Boland?
Something like that. But she was like, that was just my cover name. I was undercover.
Which, first off, before we get to the rest, but bullshit. That was on the police files. That was your name. That was your official record.
See, I can't. Part of me wants to try and justify that somehow. Like, that'd be like, in case anyone goes digging, they don't. But like, why would you make it her fake name? Surely have it or be her real name, so that the fake name doesn't match.
It's someone else. They just look like me.
Yeah,
that's why it makes no sense. Why would you use your undercover name and go, oh yeah, they're a police officer? Because then you could just Google their name and find them as a police officer. Yeah, no, what are you doing?
They actually say on the news that's her name.
Yeah, and obviously he phones the Flash police captain, and he's on the internet and he's looking her up, and that's it. It's there.
Which, by the way, can we talk about this? So he wants info on her, right? So, and she used to be a cop in Central City. So it cuts to the police department from the Flash, right? And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to phone Joe and get some info.
Yeah, he knows Joe.
Or maybe Barry. Barry can maybe do it.
He definitely knows Barry.
And it's Captain Singh who picks up the phone and he's like, hey, who's this? He's like, I need some help. I'm the Green Arrow. And he's like, yeah, right. And then the Flash like speeds. We don't see him. We just see the streak, the blur of red and yellow, and it comes in and leaves, and it's just a note that says he's legit. And I'm like, why didn't you just phone Barry and ask for him to get the information?
Would have been quicker.
No pun intended.
It really wasn't. I'm too drunk to think of puns.
But like, it felt. It was like, oh, we have to pay extra to get him for a cameo, so we'll just pay Captain Singh. He's cheaper. That's what it felt like to me.
But it felt really cheap.
It felt really weird. It also felt really weird.
It made no sense.
And when they go to Hub City to find her, the only place they seem to go is Big Belly Burger. They go there twice. We get 2 scenes in the same Big Belly Burger.
And we approve of Big Belly Burger.
We do. It was just weird. It was kind of like an admission. We don't have it anywhere else to have them go because it's a different city, so we can't just have them go to their usual places. So it was just kind of like, whatever. So anyway, she shows up at the end, and she's like, yeah, that's just my fake name, that's my undercover name. And I immediately said, her name's Diana. And you gave me this look of horror.
They're not going to. Surely they won't do that.
But deep down you knew I was right.
I know, I did.
And she says, my name's Diana Drake.
Honestly, I didn't hear any past that. I was too angry. I was too annoyed. I just took my headphones off and just...
Yeah.
I could just see her lips moving for another like 30, 40 seconds. No idea what she said.
So they already point out early in the episode, oh, that's convenient, there's someone out there who can fight who has the Black Canary cry, the power.
And she wears a leather jacket and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll forgive that part. I mean, leather jacket.
I know, but the way they say it, it's like, oh, she fits the entire bill, like she's dead on.
Yeah, right? That's coincidence enough. And they were even saying the interviews and stuff in the past week before this episode aired, oh, it's a completely original character we made for the TV series, blah, 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 blah. For those who don't know who Dinah Drake is, that's actually, in the comics, that's Dinah Lance's mother.
Yeah. Obviously, this Laurel we had, Dinah was her middle name.
No, it was her first name.
Oh, was it the first? And she just went by her middle?
Yeah, because I remember that was the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think, I seem to remember, what was his name? Tommy. to Tommy saying that in the first episode. That was the big thing at the end. It was like, oh, Dinah Laurel Lance. Like,
you're right. I think I just got to a point where I just assumed it was a middle name because it made more sense for her to at least use her name that way on all her legal documents, you know.
So there's someone out there who, in this show's logic, is not related to her, and she has the same name, the same superpower. Sure.
Didn't we already have her mum? It was Alex Kingston. Was she not a Dinah as well?
I can't remember what her mother was called, but obviously this isn't actually her mother in the show because she's the same goddamn age.
I'm just thinking, was that not the same name he already used?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Because that would feel really, really, you know, tacky if they did use Dinah Drake already.
That would feel especially weird.
No, they just used Dinah Lance, but it was still Dinah.
It was still, so we've had 3 Dinahs now.
Yeah, I've just checked that. Yeah, I get them having the mother and daughter having the same name. That's fine. That's acceptable. But now you got someone else with the same name and the same powers, and it's just beyond coincidence. And I refuse to believe this bollocks.
I laughed so hard when she said it. It was like the.
I gave up. Were you informing? Was there anything important in that final 30-40 seconds?
Can you someone named Dinah? What would she think? Oh, I think she'd be proud of both of us. That was basically the gist of it. It was sappy nonsense. I laughed so much. It is the most I've laughed at a TV show this week, easily. And
we watched some actual comedies this week.
And do you know what? Speaking of names, right? You noticed in the credits there was someone credited as Linda Park, and we were like, wait, Linda wasn't in this episode. What are you talking about? Because Linda, of course, is a character in The Flash, and I was like, I don't remember. And it turned out it was the newscaster in the flashback in Central City. And I went back and looked at it. I'm like, that's not her. It's a different actress. I mean, she's Asian, but it's not the same actress. And when I looked her up, she had been in Arrow before as Linda Park, but it was in 2013. So here's my theory. 2013 was before The Flash started, right? Flash started in 2014.
Yeah.
I think they used a newscaster in 2013 called her Linda Park just as an offhand little Easter egg for fans to go, oh, Linda Park, I recognise that name, before they had decided they were going to do The Flash.
What if it was in, the backdoor pilot? When Barry came over?
Nah, too
late.
Too early for that still.
Oh, right, okay. I thought that was maybe before mid-season.
Nah, that was... Nah, it wasn't.
No, okay, I'll tell you what.
But I'm pretty sure it was before they knew they were doing The Flash. They put this in as a little cameo, or not even a cameo, just an Easter egg.
Because we never even knew it was Linda Park, clearly, at the time. Otherwise,
no,
we'd have noticed.
So then they do The Flash. Linda Park actually has to be a character. We're going to cast her someone proper, because they have to actually do scenes and have relationships with people. And that'll be that. And for some reason, they decided to use her again here. And... do you know what? It probably was that episode of The Flash, not the backdoor pilot, but the one he gets struck by lightning. Remember he had that 2-parter before the backdoor pilot.
Yeah, where he shows up in.
Yeah, well, because I'm thinking, because remember how that ends with the explosion?
Yeah, that's the one I was on about when I said the backdoor pilot. Is that not?
I'm thinking the one later was the backdoor pilot.
Was that later one?
Yeah. Oh no, it was Cisco and Caitlin who came in later.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, maybe you're right. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, okay, I'm retracing my steps. I've got a new idea. I'm thinking that because they showed footage of her in that episode for this news broadcast, because they probably showed it when Barry was in his lab, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking happened. That's why I said that one. Yeah.
They're probably just either reusing the exact same footage.
Yeah.
That's probably most what they're doing, or they've reshot some of it because they needed extra lines, but they had to use the same actress, so it matched.
Yeah.
But it means that we now have 2 Linda Parks because they hadn't cast the proper one.
To be fair, they recast Sarah, so.
They did, but they didn't bring the old one back.
They didn't. I think this was just a case of reusing the footage, so they still had to credit her. Yeah. But I don't know why they still credit her as Linda Park and not just going newscaster.
Yeah, that would have been easier.
That would have been way less complicated.
Or they could have pulled a Sarah and got the better, the proper actress who did
to redo it.
To redo the thing, yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been better.
Yeah.
More expensive, obviously, for a little throwaway bit in Arrow, but...
Yeah, they probably should have reshot that and changed it for because they cast her in season 1, so they could have done it for like the Blu-ray and Netflix stuff, like for that release. They could, because Lost did that back in the day. There was like a photograph of someone who they went back and changed for all the home releases so it would match the actress they cast later.
It was later because obviously that was season 2 of Arrow, right? And then Linda didn't show up till season 2 of Flash, did she?
No, season 1.
Was she in season 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just misremembering then.
That was like halfway through season 1.
Okay then.
It was the karaoke one with Caitlin. She showed up.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just misremembering.
Anyway, that was a tangent. But yeah, so we had second Linda Park. We've got third Dinah in this episode.
Sick of this bloody show.
Oh, God. Meanwhile, Felicity's trying to hack the NSA because they need information that can get Diggle out of prison because there's magic information that will incriminate the guy who's trying to imprison him.
Because of course there is.
That'll fix everything. But what that plot ends up being is her meeting this other hacker who is a fan of hers from her college days.
Hyperactive little bitch.
Hyperactive. She's basically Felicity 2.0. And she was inspired by Felicity. And Felicity feels kind of crappy because she thinks that she became nothing after giving up her hacktivism.
She's a corporate sellout, I believe.
Yes. Of course, we know she's actually been doing vigilante work, but obviously Four Eyes here doesn't know that. So
yeah, she did give us a hacker name, but we're not remembering that.
It was like a sledgehammer. It was something hammer.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was something sledgehammer. But she's like, oh yeah, we've got something big planned. And all I could think was, Felicity, you sound like you've created a terrorist. She sounds like she's about to do something dangerous. You've done something awful here.
It really does sound like that, doesn't it?
But then Felicity's already nuked an entire city, so I mean, this is
can
small
they
potatoes.
top that?
Small potatoes.
Can they top nuking a city?
Nuking a bigger city.
To be fair, nuking multiple cities.
Because that site only had 10,000 in it.
That's true. I mean, that's more of a town than a city, isn't it? It's just like barely above a village. I'm not entirely sure what the strict definitions are.
Hell, Twin Peaks has got a bigger population.
That's true. That's definitely a town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think they actually nuked the entire city though. I think the whole idea is that it landed at a place where it only affected part of the city.
I don't know. I just think it was a very small city, so it's a town or a village.
It's a street. And it's basically a street with 10,000 people.
It basically is, yeah.
Right, okay. So that was that plot.
Either way, she was annoying as shit.
She was annoying.
And I just don't care about this. Sorry, just go to this because clearly this is going to inspire Felicity to get back to her hacktivism stuff, and I just don't care about any of this.
Diggle gets told the news. He's happy. End of that plot. Great.
Can go back to his son, who we've not seen.
Yeah, he can go back to just being the same character he's been for the last 4 years, and we don't have to care. So that's nice. No Thea. No Lance.
She's still missing.
Yeah. No Lance either. He's been in rehab for 3 episodes.
Yeah, at least they gave an excuse for him. And Thea, they gave an excuse last week. At this time, she was just missing.
Oh, I thought of another positive. Oh, I remember last week there was an excuse. She's in a conference, like a peace conference or something.
There was something last week, but did that really last an entire week?
Well, yeah, she's maybe in another country, so I can buy she's gone for 2 episodes.
Oh, she's in another country? I thought it was just another city. Okay.
Well, maybe another. But they specifically said fly home. The phrase was fly home.
It did, but that's not that big a deal.
You have no idea where she is.
It doesn't mean it's a long flight.
It doesn't matter how long.
Flight for half
Connor,
an hour.
It doesn't matter how long the goddamn flight is. It matters how long the trip's meant to be.
Well, yeah.
You argued. Look. I will tear this show to shreds. You know I will, but I will not sit here and have you make up complaints.
I just think they should have addressed it again. Just reminded us, at least, that that's why she was not there.
No, I'd have felt hokey if they'd brought it up again. Come on.
Should have just brought it back then.
Oh, Thea's still in our retreat. Our conference is still going on. It's
Look.
All that's
the reason I wanted that is so if they did do that, then I could complain about it.
Oh, yeah, all that would be doing would be drawing attention to the fact that for some reason the actress is unavailable. I don't know why.
And I want to be able to complain about that. because I want to complain at more stuff.
I don't get
So I'm
why.
going to make the most of it and complain about this instead.
Also, apparently, Prometheus is still a thing. Evelyn's mentioned; she's still a thing, and we've not seen them in like.
It cracks me up that in the not the previously on, but the opening speech, and it ends in this shot of the new group, and still with just Evelyn there, and they're in their arrow formation. I mean that as like they're in an arrow shape.
So the flashbacks. We were introduced last week to Talia al Ghul, and it seems that she's going to be the core inspiration for all of the actual Green Arrow stuff, because not only does she like say, "Oh, you should use a bow and arrow," and she like shows the benefit of it, and she's like, "You should take up your father's list and do something about it."
It's not like we went the entire first season of him saying that he took up the HUD because of Yao Fei, and it was his HUD, and that's what inspired him with the bow. It's not like we actually had all of that in the show already.
Yeah, he actually even makes a dig at her in this episode. "Oh, you're using a bow and arrow? Lame." Like,
You trained with one for 2 years, you silly bastard.
and that's a thing. So she's clearly inspiring him to do everything at this point. And then not only
Including
that, oh,
the
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that.
I'm just so annoyed at this.
And then it caps it off with the second funniest moment of the entire episode. Funny number one being Dinah Drake. Funny number two is that she actually uses the words. She says that this like sort of inner demon, this monster, has to be separated. Yeah, it has to have an identity. It has to be separated from him. It has to be someone else. It has to be something else.
Oh, I groaned so hard. Oh, I hate this show.
Oh god, I was laughing. I was laughing pretty bad.
How do they actually put that in as like dialogue and think, oh, we can play this straight and get away with it?
Funny moment number 3 was Renee and Oliver are talking to each other. Oliver still got his hood and the mask on. Renee's got his hockey mask off. And New Canary like sneaks up behind him and says hello, and he just like quickly puts his mask back on.
It just turns around and pulls it down.
To be fair though, I think that was intentionally supposed to be at least slightly funny.
No, I agree.
So that props on there. That was actually kind of funny.
And then Oliver's just a dick again and stands in front of her with no mask because he doesn't understand what secret identity is. Apparently,
to be fair, Barry's no gem in this department.
He's not, but we call him out on it as well.
Although, to be fair, at least all the ones that Barry's done it with, for the most part, they've all been people that he's known for a while. Eddie, even Linda, he knew her for a while before he did it. This is a woman he's literally met in the last day. Even when he revealed himself, earlier in the season I was complaining about it, he revealed himself to all the new recruits, Renee and all that, and Evelyn. I'm like, you've known these people for like a week, and...
Yeah, that was something else that threw me. Renee and Curtis were talking, and he was like, "Oh, we all know what happened with the last crazy recruit." It's like, you were recruited at the same time as her.
Yeah. You were on the same team as Evelyn.
You got told, and I think he was complaining about Oliver like sharing his identity and stuff, and like, it's like, you learned at the same time as she did. What are you doing? And
then Curtis actually kind of brings it up. He's talking about crazy recruits, and he sort of pauses, and he's like, "Oh, you were going to talk about me, weren't you?" Like, I guess this is a place for second chances, which is the name of the episode.
I think we said it a while ago about like Curtis. Sure, he's been on the team a while. Like he got to know the identity. I mean, he already knew it, I think, but
he was helping them for
like,
a year before we got to him being on the team.
Yeah, and that felt earned. I mean, okay, he's still not really earned to be out in the field. He's not really a fighter, but him being on the team feels earned. Renee, I mean, at this point, fine. But back then, when he was like, "Oh, here's my identity," it's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, so he just lets him know.
And this one, like, it starts with them going, "Oh, we need a new Black Canary, so let's just pull in one of these randos off the street, basically."
Yeah, they're looking at dossiers. They're like, right, this one's got a black belt in this. This one can do this. This one's got this.
It's not like any of them applied for this job. It's like, oh, we'll have that one, or maybe we'll have this one. What about that one?
We'll kidnap that woman, and we'll force her to be our Black Canary.
That's it was weird. Like, they're literally just picking someone and going, yeah, she looks like she might do. I did not like this episode.
Dinah Drake. Dinah Drake. See what's funny is, see before the Talia speech, "You must become something else," and the Dinah Drake, I actually didn't think this was that bad. I was actually of the opinion this was a reasonable enough episode of Arrow, for this season.
It was averaging.
Because a couple of good fight scenes, a couple of things were decently amusing that were supposed to be amusing. It had the negatives
of this stupid thing with Renee there that we just spoke about.
It wasn't a huge deal, but then these two scenes that were both at the end, the last flashback and the last scene of the show, both just plummeted the whole thing.
What were they thinking?
I do not know.
Oh, man.
So, how long until Oliver bangs his third Black Canary?
3 weeks. You heard it here.
3 weeks, okay.
Well, I mean, 3 episodes. I mean, I don't know. There might be breaks, but three episodes time.
3 episodes. I think there'll be slightly more restraint than that. I'm going to say 6. I'm going to go double.
All right. But we're both in agreement there's absolute guaranteed within this season.
I think even if they don't go all the way, there'll definitely be the start of a flirtatious.
Be a thing,
yeah, there'll be a kiss, or there'll be a flirt, or there'll be, but it won't be like a romance like with Felicity. It'll be heat of the moment, passion,
and we'll have that dodgy flash where he looks at her and sees Laurel. It's gonna happen.
She's gonna have the blonde wig on.
Yeah, she is.
He's gonna get her to roleplay.
Might as well. Might as well get really into it if you're going to do it.
Alright, so maybe next week they'll actually remember Prometheus exists and we can...
Yeah, there's really no urgency on that, is there? It's like, I mean, I know there's a mass murderer strolling around, but whatever.
Yeah, it feels like they've just kind of forgotten about it since they came back after Christmas, which is weird. But that's this week's Arrow. Again, super late, but hopefully this conversation proved amusing enough. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter. Connor's drunk. I'm tired. This has been a treacherous episode to get through.
It's been a marathon of a couple of days catching up on everything.
It has been. So thank you very much for bearing with us. Keep watching TV. We'll see you next time.